Hi, this is Congressman Tom Coles, another one of our congressional chats. This one's a little bit unusual. We're shooting it at my Norman district office. Congress is out over the August break. I thought I would talk to you a little bit about what I've been up to and then a little bit about what will be coming up in the fall. In terms of the district break, I've been honestly traveling the district, working it pretty hard. I've been quite a few of the communities here, obviously Moore, Norman, Midwest City, Oklahoma City, but quite through the rest of the district as well. Davis, Sulphur, Lawton, Pauls Valley, Purcell. So a lot of these places I'll go in and do an event with the local chamber. I will meet with local businesses, but it's just a really good opportunity to get a feel for what's happening in the district and honestly answer questions. We also took time to do a teletown hall. That lets you reach out to literally touch hundreds, really some cases thousands of individual constituents. What I've found as I've traveled my district is that most people are focused on pretty practical things. They're worried about inflation. They're worried about federal spending. They're very worried about regulation. I hear a lot from my constituents about the condition of the southern border. They see energy prices moving back up again. They know that the House passed something on energy that would help in that regard, and they wonder why more hasn't been done, honestly, by the United States Senate and the administration in those areas. There certainly is concern about Ukraine and about what's going on overseas and what are the Chinese thinking about doing in Taiwan and in the Western Pacific. But most of the questions are extremely practical. In terms of Congress, they want us to do some more in restraining spending. They certainly want us to pass some important legislation like the Farm Bill and the federal or FAA bill, Federal Aeronautical Agency bill, very important in this district. They have a lot of questions about defense. They were pleased with the bill that the House passed in defense, and they know the Senate's passed one too. They'd like to see an overall, National Defense Authorization Act passed, which I assure them can probably happen this summer. Mostly focused on practical concerns. Looking ahead to fall, when we get back, we'll be focused primarily on appropriations bills. And then trying to move some of that other major legislation, FAA bill, NDAA, through to completion. I would expect that sometime in September, we'll pass what's called a CR, continuing resolution, to extend current government funding for an unspecified period of time while the House and the Senate continue to work on the appropriations process. The Senate has passed all 12 of the basic bills that fund the government out of committee, none of them across the floor. The House has passed 10 of the 12, but has also passed one across the floor, military construction and VA funding, and we'll be getting the other two done pretty quickly in early September. Then again, the two sides, and by sides I mean the Senate and the House, right now are cooperating. Both have agreed that we need to pass some sort of, again, continuing resolution, try to work out the rest of the spending decisions before the end of the year. I expect there'll be quite a bit of turmoil around that. The House is pretty consistently coming in under the agreed upon targets that were laid out in the deficit bill or the debt ceiling bill. The Senate is coming in consistently over what they agreed to. So there's going to have to be some pretty serious give and take, and of course the administration will be part of that process as well. So I would say, again, a pretty good August. Last point, I did have the opportunity earlier this month to go to Europe and meet with the American leaders and what's called EUCOM, our European Command. Also AFRICOM is headquartered there. And we had the opportunity to visit with American soldiers training in the field and with Ukrainians who were training with them on things like the Abrams tank and various artillery pieces which are being used there. I expect that we'll see quite a bit of serious discussion about the Ukraine this fall. The administration is going to ask for additional money, has already actually sent the request to Congress. They're also asking for additional disaster relief money. That shouldn't be too controversial in and of itself. We all see terrible things, for instance, that have happened in Maui with the wildfires. Those things are sadly, in a large country, you have disasters on a fairly regular basis that hit local areas. So I think we'll work through that pretty quickly. The administration's requested extra money on the border. I think that'll be very controversial unless they also couple that with policy changes that will be the subject of intense debate between the two parties. So again, we'll continue to work and try and keep people posted on what's happening. We might try and do another one of these before Congress is actually back in session in September. But in the meantime, if you're going to have a vacation, I hope you have a good one. If you're back at school, I hope you're hard at work. And most of all, just for your families and yourselves, good luck, God bless. I look forward to visiting with you again soon.